Russian President Vladimir Putin met with North Korean leader Kim Jong Un today in North Korea's capital, Pyongyang. Following a lavish ceremony, the pair signed an agreement vowing to build a strong front against the West while deepening their military ties. Kim also expressed full support for Russia's war in Ukraine.
CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab is tracking all of this for us from our London bureau. Imtiaz, what more can you tell us about what seems like a significant agreement?
Yeah, Errol, good to be with you. I mean, extraordinary scenes coming out of South Korea, or rather North Korea, with Vladimir Putin visiting what's often described as a hermit kingdom for the first time in 24 years. And I think what's really gotten a lot of attention here is what they've described as this strategic partnership that they've signed and are describing it as a breakthrough. But here's the thing. Neither side has really released the text of that agreement that resulted from this visit to Pyongyang. And more importantly, its consequences for the near and long term still remain uncertain. We have to remember that relations between Russia, which of course is this sprawling, massive nation, and North Korea, which is this isolated, relatively small country, is an interesting one. Both of them are nuclear powers, and they are both considered pariah states in this moment. And they've really warmed significantly in recent years, especially amid Russia's growing acrimony with the West over the invasion of Ukraine and suppression of any real domestic opposition. Now, the new agreements could bring them even closer and pose challenges to the international community.
Well, Imtiaz, anytime you're talking about North Korea and its international relations, China plays a role in that, of course. China is also arguably the closest ally to Russia in this moment when we're talking about major world powers. So I'm wondering how Beijing plays into this new relationship, this new agreement between Russia and North Korea.
Yeah, Lana, that's such a good point. And, really, when you think about it, this meeting was in Pyongyang. It's on the doorstep of China. China, of course, also has relations with North Korea as well. And there are some signs that Xi Jinping, the Chinese leader, kind of disapproves a little bit of this burgeoning alliance between two of these countries, which he himself has ties with. There are reports suggesting that Beijing urged President Putin not to visit Pyongyang straight after the meeting that he had with President Xi back in May, because it seems that Chinese officials did not like the optics of North Korea being included in that visit. Now, Mr. Xi is under considerable pressure from the U.S. and Europe to cut support for Moscow and to stop selling it components that are fueling its war in Ukraine. And this is really something that Xi Jinping cannot ignore. Just as the world needs the Chinese market, Beijing also needs foreign tourists and investment to fight off sluggish growth and retain its spot as the world's second largest economy. And so really, this kind of intersects on all of these very complex issues, but it's become a much bigger issue with potentially huge geopolitical issues. Guys.
And Imtiaz, considering there are many layers to this, is the exchange of weaponry of the highest concern to Western nations?
Absolutely. I mean, look, this visit by Putin is being very closely watched by the U.S. and Western powers and, of course, South Korea, amid concerns that this growing military cooperation, between these two isolated, sanctioned-hit countries could really boost the Kremlin's war effort in Ukraine and add tensions on the Korean peninsula. Now, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Putin's visit highlighted Russia's attempts, and I'm quoting here, in desperation to develop and to strengthen relations with countries that can provide it with what it needs and to continue what he described as a war of aggression against Ukraine. But still, when we really think about it, when you look at this growing relationship between Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong Un, many observers are seeing this as a very, very alarming development. Lana, Errol.
All right, Imtiaz Tyab, thank you for that update.
Imtiaz.